All right, guys, welcome back. We got episode 2, season 3. Here we're going to see NC State versus Florida State. Here we have Anderson dropping back after that run from Richard Young. And we're going to see Jackson get hit on the 30-yard line, taking him all the way close to the red zone, getting Richard Young in the flat. And we're going to go all the way down to the 15. And they end up stalling on that drive. And the defense could not hold him, so it's 7-0. And Richard Young is going to be pretty much the heart and soul of this Florida State team. As you see right here, they're going to give him the ball multiple times this drive, and they're going to cap it off with the Richard Young touchdown. And after this, making it 14-7 because the defense could not stop the offense. NC State, Anderson throws an interception, making it 21-7. And then they get closer to red zone with time expiring in the second quarter, and they end up getting the score 21-14. On the very next drive, after the half, they end up throwing a pick, trying to throw to two people. Anderson has had some struggles in his collegiate career, and we're really hoping that he could turn it around here, but when you make decisions like that, it's going to be very difficult. Anderson throws another great ball on 3rd and 3, getting the ball, and Hamilton is just reaching. I don't know why Donovan's doing that, but Lee Cock getting a burner, taking the top off, making it 21-21. And now we got NC State's quarterback looking poised, gets a little pressure, but he throws an absolute dime, making it 28-21. Then they end up getting stopped, and then the defense kicks a field goal, making it 31-21. Anderson's trying to find some way to get back into this game, and he throws a beautiful ball in the right pylon, making it. Did he drop that? I think he dropped that. That's insane. But back-to-back plays, he throws another beautiful ball. Defense gets the stop, and he throws a nice spiral, nice lob to Richard Young, making the score 35-31. Defense gets another stop. So defense in the fourth quarter been shut out so far. Beautiful on the defensive side of the ball. And Richard Young gets his hat trick. I mean, look at this dynamic movement. No one could guard him. When you have a safety on a running back like that, you expect to be well defended. But again, 4 touchdowns on the night, making it 49-31. A huge game for Anderson and the Florida State offense making the comeback. Here we have Basketville in our first game. Hits Gaskin, making it 14-0. But this is going to be our first game really looking at San Jose Tech, and it's going to be huge right here. You know, defense gets a stop. They get on 4th down and throws a dime to his running back on 4th down, and the running back Jahi gets in the score 20-0 after the failed 2-point attempt. The O-line couldn't hold up, making it 4th and 15, and an absolute beautiful jump ball to Tuttle, making this score 20. It would have been 27-0, but he tries to reach for it, dangerous, and he drops it. Defense makes a good stop, making this 20-0 still. I mean, holding UMass to 0 is not a crazy feat, but holding any defense to 0 is insane. They end up scoring that drive, and then they end up getting a stop and then scoring again. Basketville is really just in his own, in an element of his own here, just playing great football. And so was Ajayi, but you know the O-line can't really hold up, not giving him an opportunity to shine. He throws a jump ball to Tuttle, almost caught, but the safety comes in, Legion of Boom style, and that's going to be probably Basket's first and only mistake of this game, is throwing up that 2-on-1 to running back. I mean, not the greatest decision, but you know, it doesn't really matter when you're throwing great passes like that to Gaskin, and then another one. Oh, as I say, I have the curse. But still, 34-14 against UMass, a great performance for San Jose Tech. And look at that. Like I said, 380, 58, 4 touchdowns. The completion rate could be a little better, but Basketville, all in all, has been great. Peterkin going to start this game out 7-0. Pugsley really trying to find something. And again, on the side, Peterkin. Pugsley's going to be a new addition to our team. And it looks like he's been pretty good all season so far. I mean, we're only 3-0, but I mean, look at that ball. Placed it perfect in between the niblet through 3 safeties. Defense trying to get a stop here, but that was a beautiful ball from Iowa. And Washington gets the pick 6. And if you didn't know, that was Carson Melvin, our quarterback from the very first season. He did end up transferring. He thought he was better than he was, and he goes to Iowa. He throws a pick six there. I mean, you probably could have noticed from that lob route. He has a very nice lob. And Jamil, I don't want to say it too early, but it looks like Jamil could have a possible Heisman campaign here. Pugsley throwing a beautiful ball on the run to Matt Penny. And look at another beautiful ball to Niblett, getting it down to the 1, making this 63-19. Iowa really didn't have a chance there. I mean, completion rating again could be a little better. 50% is not that great, but 508 touchdowns in his 4th game. A beautiful, beautiful performance. I mean, this is what you want to see out of a quarterback when you transfer. And speaking of what you want to see out of a quarterback, this is exactly what Malik Clark and Flowers do all game, all season. I mean, Flowers really has developed since his first season here with South Dakota, and now he's just one of the best offensive threats as a quarterback. I mean, he's just always throwing a tight spiral and always making good dynamic plays. Nelson tries to make a dynamic tackle right there, but misses. They end up getting the stop anyway, and receiver Wilson tries to get down. He gets down to the 5, and they hand it out to Benelli, scoring 14-0. Toledo, if you remember a couple seasons ago, was their kryptonite, but it doesn't look like that's the case this year. And Harrell making a nice move on 2 people, almost breaking away, and they pretty much end up scoring with Malik getting his 2nd of the day. And like I was saying earlier, Malik could have a breakout season, or Benelli. We don't know which one. Harrell is one of those sneakily dudes. He's a 3rd receiver or 2nd receiver, but he's just going to chip away at your offense. He's not really someone that's going to be insane on the season, but he's always going to be open. A great RPO to Toledo as their field goal almost gets blocked, but after forcing the 2 field goals, making this 35-13, it's looking pretty good. And like I said, look at that ball from Josh Flowers, just absolute heaters. And Chauncey Cobb gets beautiful blocks and goes in, and that's pretty rare because usually we see Benelli here this season, but we're gonna see a lot of Chauncey Cobb as well. They're gonna be 50-50 this rock here. Malik Clark has been taking some defensive reps, and it's looked like it's been a positive impact on South Dakota's team. And again, another tight spiral. Almost getting as he's getting hit. He's getting hit in this, and Malik Clark gets the beautiful ball, and then Benelli making it 55 to what would be 13. And I'm telling you, like, Josh Flowers is just putting up beautiful balls up there for his receivers. I mean, it's going to be an easy game for South Dakota, 55-13. And even though, that's the player of the game, 5 catches, 210, and 4 tutties, we really got to look at Josh Flowers here. He's really looking like a very prosperous quarterback and probably going to make 1st or 2nd round in the NFL. I mean, he's just throwing missiles every single time he throws. Next up, you have Navy versus San Jose Tech, And, San Jose Tech has been looking very good all season. We have Dickey out here throwing that ball, getting it 7-0, starting the game out on 3rd down. And we're going to see what's going to be probably one of the better linebackers in the nation here as Gilliam. He's looking pretty solid here as you see him in zone right there in the hook curl. He's looking pretty good. They get the stop, and then we have Tuttle, very good contested catcher on the team. They end up getting that score, 14-0. They end up getting a sack, making a 2nd and 3rd down. And on 3rd down, no different. They get a sack as well. They end up making a punt. And Baskerville putting on the game from his previous performance, Gaskin taking this all the way. And Gaskin's going to be a very, very promising sophomore this season. As we say his name, he goes again. And he's looking very promising. You're going to see a lot of these jump balls to Tuttle and Gaskin, but that's not even a jump ball. That's just a nice pass. The Navy's corners aren't as great as they would like to be, but the receivers are because they just caught a contested catch, breaks the tackle. They're going to go all the way down to the 3, and they end up scoring. And Baskerville loses his baskets because he just got fumbled, and lineman trying to make a move. Fat man gets the ball. He's always going to try to get something out here, but can't get it. And on 4th and 30, you can't really blame Basket. He's getting a lot of pressure. And we see a great run out of Navy. I mean, this is probably the best Navy does out of everything on offense. They end up scoring that drive as well. Basket throws an interception. I don't know what's happening. He probably got hit out of a sack. And they end up scoring this pick six. So, honestly, at the end of this game, the score is going to look worse than it is. But if you really think about it, they weren't really. And again, oh my God, Basketville. You know, you could blame the O-line for getting so much pressure, but it's a lot of fumbles and the sacks there. And yeah, so you're gonna see 42-24, but really in reality, it wasn't really that bad of a game. It's just, you know, a lot of fumbles near the end, and besides the fumbles, Basketball had a very nice game, so you can't really blame him too much. Austin Clay's going to start this game out, making this 1st and goal here. And you're going to see him score with Jamil. Jamil, again, huge name. Nice ball out of Houston's quarterback. And receivers trying to break a little move and get inside. But that's exactly what the running back does, making the score 7-14. And we get a nice sack out of Falk. Falk and Lawrence are going to be huge additions to this defense. I mean, both of them are playing, lights out of their mind, and it's a great thing that they're both pretty good together as well as a unit. And this dude Bush, true freshman, I couldn't be more happy about it. I couldn't be more happy with a true freshman recruit because he's just been insane, looking like a veteran. Huge play by our D tackle to drop in the zone, getting that contested ball down, and Emmanuel Hurt gets an interception, takes it all the way down to the 30-yard line, giving us great position. And Jamil Charles is just going to get beautiful blocks and going to go all the way to the crib. I mean, I'm telling you, this dude is going to be insane. You're going to see him score all season long. And this is where I really think he's going to be a great Heisman candidate because he looks like he's been doing the same thing against any team. It doesn't matter how good the competition is. Huge by Colin Gill, getting interception near the end zone here. 35-7, huge ball, 35-14. Emmanuel Hurt trying to make some type of play here, but you really can't ask him to do everything. And as Houston trying to mount a drive here, getting on the goal line, trying to find something, and they do, finding the right side. Huge pass there, 42-21. But Jamil is not gonna let that happen. Jamil is just gonna take this. He already has 250 yards basically on the game, and great throw by Pugsley in between people, hitting Bush here. I'm telling you, Pugsley really has an arm. You can't say it's like Flowers' arm, but it's still very, very nice. And a huge jump route for Bloom. Bloom has been one of those people that's having up and down careers so far. Has been really shaky and rocky and not the most consistent player. Huge play by this running back though, going all the way down, making this 28. But yeah, Bloom's going to be one of those people that's going to be kind of wishy-washy, but nonetheless, huge pick, making this game here. As the time expired in the 3rd quarter, Pugsley did a little too much, gets sacked back there, trying to find something. But it doesn't really matter because you're going to see Peterkin run a corner route, and he's going to get 63. Defense getting huge pressure right there. Vasek has played out of his mind as well. A great offseason has gotten him very good results, and he's probably going to be the best DN in the league, but we're going to see still. It's too early to say. Huge pass, making the 70-28, and it's pretty much going to be wraps after this. I mean, you're not really going to see much more than just a highlight reel because Pugsley's just going to try to run the score up here, and as he does it, he just throws an interception, trying to force a ball to Peterkin to get the stop. Doesn't matter, and they throw a whole shot to Penny, making this 77-28. Houston just trying to put some more gas on the score, but I believe they don't end up getting it. Oh, they do. Nice ball, 35. But nonetheless, 77-35. Huge game for Pugsley and that Pasadena offense. And now we have Virginia Tech versus Florida State here coming up. And, Virginia Tech was looking very excited to play Florida State in the rain. I mean, as you can see, they're just ecstatic. Everyone's going crazy. And honestly, Florida State's looking like some villains here. They're going to try to come in here in a hostile environment as you see their mascot running around and they want to just put all these smiles to rest here and make a loud crowd silent. And Anderson can't do that on the first drive. 4th and 17, he gets double pressured, and you can't really blame him. They end up scoring, so they can't really hold him up. He sees a possible opening. Good, honestly, good read, but O-line can't really hold up, making it 14-0 earlier in this game. And I'm surprised the crowd is this quiet after this type of performance from their offense, or from their defense. Sorry. And Anderson, Richard Young gets a nice run. Anderson trying to force a ball to Richard Young here, but can't do it. The defense gets a nice stop, and Richard Young breaks outside the 50, 30, 20, 10. Bye. He's gone, making this 14-7 here. Defense gets a stop, so then they end up throwing again to Hamilton, a trusted receiver, but he can't really pull it in. Questionable pass right there. It's a good read, but it's just not great accuracy on 4th. Leacock gets another ball, and Richard Young takes it 14-14 to tie this game up. They end up getting a stop on the goal line, and then they immediately throw an interception. But it doesn't matter because that's a huge stop by the defense on the goal line, making this 14-14 still. And Richard Young trying to break away from this, and what a nice pass from Anderson there. This is what I'm talking about. Anderson could be a person that still can develop, just because you've had a lot of hardships throughout this season. Like, look at that pass, So we got Richard Young here making this 21-14 as he's doing a little bit of celebrating, kind of stopping before the line to go to gain. And huge pass to Leacock. What a play, getting him down to the 10. And defense played very good. Besides those 2 early scores, you can't really blame them because they were within 10 yards of the goal. But besides that, they have been playing lights out. And so has Anderson and Hamilton here. Like, look at this connection on a broken play. Hamilton trying to dive in there, get a score. But, it's all going to go to Richard Young here, getting that possible Heisman contender too. You can't really say he isn't. Like, look at the potential there. Getting a lot of passes, getting a lot of runs. Hamilton. No, that's not Hamilton. That's Anthony. I don't know who that is, but great play. And another touchdown for Richard Young. I'm pretty sure that's his 4th. And Leacock, I believe. Nice ball, nice catch. 15-yard line. And very, very big to come back in this game. They scored 14 early in the first quarter, but they pretty much got held to nothing besides the 4-quarter 7. And offense didn't look back and just scored countless times. So that was just great by an entire team standpoint to come back against Virginia Tech. And San Jose has Ohio Bobcats here, but they really can't get anything on 3rd and 4th down. As we see, Kevin Soils, the sophomore, has played pretty good here. And we're going to see if San Jose Tech can really take over the MAC here. They already have 1 loss, but nonetheless, we're going to see, can they kind of create some havoc on this defensive line. And they kind of do, making this quarterback run. Quarterback just takes a couple of hits. I don't know how he can get hit harder than that, but 3-0 is beautiful on the defense, especially where they started. Good ball from Baskerville, getting Dickey a nice pass, getting him down to 35. And on 3rd and 1, we're thinking, let's just go yard. And that's exactly what he does to Gaskin. Huge play. Huge play. The ball is money, making this 7-0. Defense creates the havoc that they wanted in the first drive, and they kind of get this stop here, but then they get stopped again. So we're going to look at this run and pass to tight end here. Quarterback, that's a nice play, getting up in the pocket, creating a throwing lane. Textbook stuff here. 17-7, and Gaskin gets a nice ball from, I believe, Baskerville. Didn't see who threw it, but making the 17-14. And Gilliam, their heart and soul of this team, but it doesn't matter because Stevenson just got burnt, and he's gonna go all the way to the house. This might be one of the weakest parts of the defense here is the corners, but their front 5 is, or their front 7, are very good. So you can't really blame it. Tuttle making a nice play. Maiden. So they subbed in Maiden. Maiden is the backup. They're trying to alternate with Baskerville and Maiden, trying to find out who's going to be this franchise guy here. Who's going to be the guy that can really take this team far, and I believe that they're still in the process of finding that out. Gaskin, huge play from Maiden, making this 28-24, and that's going to be a huge buzzer beater to end the half, because I believe the Bobcats don't have anything in them. Defense is playing very great, and the running back, oh my, he's just breaking a lot of tackles here, but again, nonetheless, it was uneventful end to that second quarter there for the Bobcats. Nonetheless, though, still 35-31, and huge throw by the quarterback. You know, you're going to see a hole in his zone from post route, and you're going to just throw that huge cojones from him, man. And now that we have that, Gaskin and Maiden hook up, getting that 42-38 here. That's huge. Honestly, that's huge for offense. You know, that it's a little bit more, you know, newer to this. You know, they haven't really been, you know, they're under new coaching staff, and to do this against, you know, a 5-0 Bobcats is very, very impressive here. They call it perfect screenplay, though. Perfect screenplay against a blitz, and that makes the score 45-42. And Maiden trying to find something, can't find anything. He steps up in the pocket, getting down to the 50-yard line. Third and 6 here. Maiden looking, finds their tight end, and he tries to fight forward, kind of toppling that corner. And Dickey gets a nice pass on the right side, making this 50-45. Running back, always breaking tackles. That dude is a bowling ball. Almost breaks away again. I'm telling you, that guy's just, you know, even though he has 10 rushes for 50 yards, he's still, you know, he's just creating havoc and making the defense really work. And this is what I'm talking about. Oh my, he just got hit. I think I have the curse. You know, every time I talk good about somebody, they just get fumbled or intercepted or something. Huge stop by the defense, and Dickey and Maiden hook up. They're trying to, you know, finish this game out. Maiden trying to get away, can't get away. So on third down, he's trying to find something here, and he throws a contested ball to Ajayi. I mean, I think he got a little bit overzealous there, but you can't really blame him. You know, you just want to get that game sealed and done with. But D-line is making a huge appearance, making their presence known here. Defense makes a great stop on fourth down, and a huge throw out of Tuttle. Huge throw to Tuttle. Sorry. Very questionable. You know, I think the OC of San Jose State is trying to get a little bit too excited, and the defense is, you know, trying to get, you know, starting to get tired here. Gilliam shoots a gap, huge play on the TFL, making this 2nd and 14, making this 3rd and 15. I mean, look at this. This is just beautiful textbook defense. No one can get a block here, and this is what I'm talking about. 4th and 28, huge play, making the stop. And also, although you see this 4th down here, they end up even though they get stopped, they do end up winning this game. And that's going to be the end of episode 2. It was a little bit shorter, but we're going to have those 3 weeks here for the next one pretty soon. So stay tuned.